Hey, this me, Brian. Looking for my lighter. There it is. Sorry about that. Rolly. Anyways, this morning, I would like to acknowledge a couple of my viewers. Vamp Lord 111, and Plaid Cashew. Hey, Derby, what's up? She went to church with Grandma. Yeah, I know, but she already gave you 2 treats. You already had your share for this morning. Eat the kitty bits. You sure? Doobie. Say hello. She'll be back in a little bit. They went to church. Every day. This cat lives on treats. Anyways. Young lady, Black Cashew, yes, I understand your point of view. Interesting, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. Right? And Bappler. Bro, I hung out with you. I know you. Right? I'm saying I get it. Stoner 101, you know what I'm saying? It's not a platform, right, for just rambling bullshit. Okay, I'll give you that one. I started this series, with a serious slant to it, a good point, and an educational tutorial, right? Yes, I apologize to you guys, you know what I'm saying, for slipping a little bit, you know what I'm saying, but thank you. I appreciate it, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to pick it up where we left it off. You know what I'm saying? Stoner 101 is going to be for stoners, they're homesteaders, and homesteaders, they're stoners. Alright? Okay. With that said, this is another video in the Stoner 101 series. Right? You know what I'm saying? About, starting out, newbie, homesteaders, you know what I'm saying, that decided to throw it all away, right, and come live out here in the country and live a better lifestyle and more true lifestyle to themselves, you know what I'm saying, and try to do something better, you know what I'm saying, for their future. Right? Okay. So, this morning, I want to talk to you guys about winterize. Alright. Now, I've made a few of these videos in the past, and there's a couple other different little playlists. You know, saying Tiny House Off-Grid Living. You know, saying Area 51 has got a bunch of really cool, winterizing videos in the playlist. You know, saying I'm still working on my plan. You know what I'm saying? Trying to remap the whole thing, and I'm gonna, I'm keeping a list of all the videos that I mentioned. Right, so you know what I'm saying? So that when I get to deleting and reorganizing, I pick the right ones and put them all in the right playlist. If I ever get to it. Okay, so winterizing. Today is September the 17th, I believe. Right? And saying it's starting to get, it's the middle of, it's late summer, it's the beginning of fall out here. We have fall, for the first 30, 40 days. And then it's just one day, bing, just like back home when I was growing up back home. One day in the fall, bing, it turns to winter. Well, right now outside, it's pretty bleary, you know what I'm saying? There's, a few scattered clouds. It's windy. It's been windy for like the last week. You know what I'm saying? Sustained winds of about, 15 to 20 miles an hour, and it does gust a lot. It gets up high out here, right? You know what I'm saying? The daytime, ambient air temperature has been like right around the low 70s. You know what I'm saying? At night, it's been getting down to like in the high 40s. Last night it was 51. You know what I'm saying? So, and we're living in a camp trailer. So a lot of you are going to start out living in a camp trailer or a small building, you know what I'm saying, that you put together, right, while, out there on your piece of dirt, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk around, the yard out here, and I'm going to show you guys a few things that you need to be mindful of, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to winterizing and batten down the hatches of your camp. You know what I'm saying? So that you can make it through the winter, right, into the next spring, and then you can pick it up and you can keep on going from there. Right? So, end of part 1. Okay, start up with your machines. This is the car because today I'm working on the car. I apologize for the wind noise, Sam, but now I've talked about this machine before. right? This is an Actron, you know what I'm saying, battery load tester machine. In my opinion, this is the best battery device or machine that you can have, you know, same for your machines. Right? Now I got it connected to the positive and the negative of the battery of the car. As you can clearly see, it says, right, weak, charge 30 amps for 5 minutes and test again. Okay, now now we know this is a good battery because we got this battery from Tasha because it came out of her little Ford sports car. Right? But it's weak, you know what I'm saying? The car has been running too good lately because the, you know, the opposition sensors all tripped out and the little brains freaked out, so the car doesn't run worth a shit. And now I'm finding out that the battery's weak. Right? You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have to just see this part of winterize. You gotta know this about your machines. You also want to check and make, you know, look, see if there's any, you know, overt damage. You want to check all of your rubber, all your hoses, make sure they're still soft and pliable a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Everything. Your radiator. You want to make sure that your radiator's full and you got, you know, antifreeze coolant in it. We gotta put some in that when we use the clear stuff, because that's what we got over in the shed. Right, and in general, make sure that your machines are in good working order. Right, so basically, I got to charge this battery. Okay, now if you have big machines, big equipment, you know, farm equipment, stuff like that, you know, other vehicles that you use, you know what I'm saying, on a daily or weekly, you know, saying sometimes monthly basis, you want to make sure that if you're going to use the machine during the winter, you want to change the oil, you want to check the battery, make sure that, you know, it's in good shape, you know what I'm saying, right? Disconnect the connections when you're not using it so you don't, you know, the battery doesn't die. It's always at least chargeable, unless it's 40 years old. You want to make sure that all the tires and everything, you know what I'm saying, are in good running order, in good shape when you park it. That's, you know, obviously this one's flat. This one hasn't moved in a while. But you want to check them over. You want to make sure everything is in working order. You know what I'm saying? Right? Transmission's not stuck. You know what I'm saying? Change the gear oil in it. You know what I'm saying? If you have to. If you haven't used it in a long ass time. Right? Do that. Yeah, dark in here. Now, if you have smaller machines, right, that you use, that are going to be used, you're saying, come spring, or machines that you use all the time, right? You want to make sure, especially if you're winterizing, you know what I'm saying, if you're not going to be out cutting wood this winter, you want to make sure that your chainsaws are drained out of gas, because they run a two-stroke, they got oil in the gas cells to the bottom, the gas converts, you know what I'm saying, as it sits, messes it all up when you try to start it. Right, same thing with your auger machines, two-stroke. You want to drain the gasoline out of all of them. You know what I'm saying? Because in reality, a two-stroke engine doesn't have oil in the crankcase, so you don't have to worry about the oil freezing. Right, but you do have to worry about the oil freezing in the gasoline. Right, so drain them. Right, set them up, put them in place to the side where you're going to be handy if you need it. Because if you need the chainsaw, that's all I got to do is just put some gas in it. You see them getting that, throw it in the back of the truck, take off. Okay, now I'm gonna put these two machines together, right? Because they're pretty important for the winter. This one is a generator. This one is a Coleman PowerMate 4000. It puts out 4,000 watts of power peak. You know what I'm saying? It'll run forever on a gas, you know, tank of gas, probably about 8-10 hours, right? I'm saying you want to take care of your generator. If you have one, this is your lifeline through the winter. Right, because you want to make sure that you drain the gas out of it if you're not going to use it, right? And if you do use it, you want to just put, you know, as much gas in it that you're going to need for the time, you know, amount of time that you're using it, right? You want to check the oil a lot. You want to change the oil, you know, before you know, or if you're going to winterize the generator, which I don't recommend. You understand? You just want to drain the oil out. You just want to make sure that you change it, right? Come, you know, like this time of year. Now, this other machine, it's one I'm going to use right now, right? This is a die-hard, you understand, 12-volt, you know, trickle charge, 30-amp, super start, 50-amp battery charger for your car, your truck, your tractor, your quad, it doesn't matter. This is a good one, right? If you have, you know, even a small one of these, a little trickle charger, 2-amp or something, right, you want to keep it in a place where you need it because you're going to use this machine during the course of the winter because cold kills batteries. It discharges them. You wake up in the morning and it's 4 degrees outside and you need to go to work or you need to use a tractor or you need to do something today, right? And you could go to start, it's dead. That ends your whole work day right there, unless you have one of these machines. You charge up any battery, you can set it on whatever setting it's got. This one has got like a myriad of settings, right? And it's saying you can let it run for, 4 or 6 hours to charge up any battery, right? If you don't have one, get one. If you got one, take care of it, keep it in a place where you can easily get it. Okay, now buildings. This is our primary residence, right? You're saying you see in that yesterday, right? I cut and fit the skirting on this little trailer. I used this corrugated metal, saying, covered the wheels, made a good, tight fit, right? All the seams, right? Made sure it covers, and you want to leave it to overhang a little bit. I didn't do the back yet. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen because normally, right, the wind comes from the south and it travels this direction up the valley to the north, right, which is going right now. You see the flag, right? That is an everyday occurrence here. So I've chosen for right now, for the time being, right, to leave the back end open, right? Just because. But I've skirted all the way around. I use good 3/8. And I also screwed the panels together. Screwed the panels together to keep them tight. Get a good fit. Right? I custom cut these 2 pieces of wood and that one right there to fit under the tongue. Right? You know what I'm saying? Right here. Right? There is a cover that goes over this area and I just gotta find it and put it in. Right? I'm also gonna do some work on the inside of this window right here because that's where I sleep at this end. Right? You want to make sure that your primary building, right, is sealed up, right, against the wind and the elements, right, for the winter. Okay, this is important. Your frost freeze, your plumbing, your pipes, right. Now there's a video in the Area 51 playlist, right, where I show you guys how to winterize these frost freeze right here. Right. It's important that you do this because your water, if your water freezes, you're pretty much done. You know what I'm saying? You gotta wait till try to thaw out in the next day because, right, if there's any water in this hose over the night when it freezes, right, this time of day right now it's like around 11:30 in the morning, right? This time of day it would still be solid frozen. It would probably take most of the day just to get it to where you could run a little bit of trickle of water in it, right? So you want to winterize your frost. You make sure all of them are in good shape because we got a lot of them. We got one here, one right there. One over there in front of those trees. There's one over there, right there. There's one over in the corner of the yard. There's one over there, in the horse field, and then that's the pump house, and I'm going to go over there next, right? And then there's another one back here. And then there's another one right there. Because this used to be the little pig pen. It's important that you make sure that all of your frost freezes are winterized and wrapped up a little bit. The ones you're going to use, so that the groundwater doesn't freeze. Because the groundwater it's going to come out. It's going to be water, right? But the higher it gets up to the pipe, especially the pipe when it's laid in the ground here, right? There is potential for it to freeze, right? It's probably not going to, right? But that pipe will. Sheds and outbuildings. You want to make sure all of your doors are secured. I had to redo this one because we had a change of wind direction about a month and a half ago, right? And it ripped this door clean, pulled every one of the screws out, ripped this door clean off, right? So you want to make sure that all of your doors are goodly, securely attached, right? And then go a little bit farther, and brace the door shut just in case. Otherwise, you're going to be out here 3 feet of snow trying to screw the damn thing back on. All of your outbuildings that you don't use or that you use for storage, you want to make sure that the latches and the locks are secure, right, and nothing comes open, right, during the storm. Because you don't want to be, I'm telling you don't want to be trudging out here when there's 2 feet of snow. Pump house. This is where your water comes from. You want to make sure that the roof is securely attached still, the wood hasn't rotted out, the nails, the screws, or whatever they're holding it together, haven't come apart. That it's in relative good shape and it's going to make another winter. Alright. You want to make sure that your pump, Oh, it's warm in here. Look, it's like 85 degrees. Look, right there, 80 degrees. All right. It's warmer in here than it is outside. All right. This is your pump. This is where your water comes from. This is your pressure tank. Right. Pump area right here. Right. And sand wellhead right there. All right. You want to make sure this room is good and insulated. It is. You know what I'm saying? Cardboard over top of insulation. Right. And sand press board. Right. You know what I'm saying? You really don't care too much about spiders, you know what I'm saying, because they're all in the corners and stuff. All right, you're good. You want to make sure that all your electrical circuitry and everything is in good shape, right? And that your light works. Guess not. This one is going to need to be repaired, right, and replaced. Right? You know, add an extra heater just in case. I'm saying you want to keep this area warm. You can actually grow your plants in here too if you want. Now, in general, for the rest of this building should have been built, you know what I'm saying, insulated. It should have been. Right? This one, over the years, the sand has, you know, gone to pot, so to speak. Right? And I'm probably going to be doing a lot of work in this building in the next coming weeks. Right? But as you can see, you know what I'm saying, it's fairly well sealed. There isn't too much water damage. You know what I'm saying? Because this building has been here for 40 years at least. Right? You know, make sure the wiring is all good, the rats, you know what I'm saying, the mice haven't eaten insulation, right? All that stuff. Outbuildings are important, especially your pump house if you have one. Some people just build a little doghouse over the top of it and then they just keep that warm, right? Which is, you know, is fairly good. But when you got one like this as part of a storage area too, right, you need to make sure that the building's in good working order. Okay, piles, right, and materials, same thing, pretty much. This is all sheet metal, right, and you know, corrugated stuff that I've been using, right, that in the past, this past summer has been a problem, has been problematic for me, because, right, the place of where it's stacked, it catches the wind coming right up, catches the wind coming right up, and the sand puts it all over the place. I have restacked it 3 different times, right, and it came over the other day and got some, right, up for the skirting for the little camp trailer, so I had to restack it again. You want to make sure that this metal stays where it's at. You see how I got it? And some of these metal bars, like that one over there, that one over there weighs 100 pounds by itself. It's a big old axle shaft from one of the big giant dump trucks. You want to make sure that it stays put. You don't want to be chasing this shit all over the place, and right, more importantly, you don't want it damaging any of your outbuildings, you know what I'm saying, or, you know, flip over the outbuilding and hit the house. Yeah, it looks like a jumbled up mess. But in reality, it's not too bad. You know what I'm saying? This stuff is laying out here because I was, you know, this is some of the stuff that I was using to build the pallet fence. Right? Some of the stack over there, you know, that needs to be restacked, probably won't get because, you know, it's on the lee side over there, right, of the pile. So it's not going to get pushed all over the place. The rest of this is stacked, right, in a direction that blows with the wind so it doesn't blow all over the place. Take a lesson right there. Right? Anything else that's being used as a storage, right, or anywhere else, you know what I'm saying, that's just rather important to you, right, you want to make sure that it's secure, all the doors are closed, latch them shut from the outside with a padlock if you have to. There, he's a good dog. That pretty much covers, you know what I'm saying, all of the things that you have to pay attention to and be mindful of, you know what I'm saying, when you're winterizing your camp. Right, your homestead, you know, your ranch, right, your llama farm, right, anything that's important, you understand, that you want to, you know, use again next spring, right, you know what I'm saying, is, you know, pretty much been covered here. I mean, yeah, there's some people that probably would go way more in depth, and I'm sure a lot of you would have some questions, you know what I'm saying, about some of the stuff that I talked about, and, you know, other stuff, right, that I haven't, you know what I'm saying, so please feel free, you know what I'm saying, leave a comment. Right, this time I'm pretty sure I'm gonna, you know, because I, you know, like I said in the video, I wrote down a list of stuff, you know what I'm saying, for me, you know what I'm saying, to keep track of what I'm making in this video. Right, so I'm gonna try to remember, leave some links, you know what I'm saying, for some of the other videos that I talked about or that I've referred to from other playlists in the description, you know what I'm saying, so that you guys can watch some of that stuff too. All right, now. There's a couple of reasons why, you know, this is important. Alright, number one, so you don't die. Especially if you live out there. You understand? We live here in a community, you know what I'm saying, where there's a number of neighbors, right? You know, saying yes, we're spread out, you know what I'm saying, but we know them all. Right? And when you live out here in the country, you know what I'm saying, you want to know your neighbors. You want, you know, you don't want to pry into their business, but you want to be friendly with them. You want to be sociable on certain occasions. You know what I'm saying? Right? Because they are the ones most likely that are going to help you, you know what I'm saying, in your first year or your second year, you know what I'm saying, if you still really haven't been established. They're the ones that are most likely going to help you if you're having problems through the winter. Well, I would. I mean, if you were posted up right over there on that 10-acre lot, and all you have is a camp trailer and a little pump, right? You know what I'm saying? Right, or a fifth wheel, right, and a light pole with power. You know what I'm saying? I would be concerned. Both me and Teresa would be concerned as to your health and your welfare during the course of the winter, right? Because here it snows, it's cold, it rains a lot, you know what I'm saying, and it lasts all winter. I got here in February. I was in the middle of winter, right? It wasn't spring until like May, right? It didn't really, I mean, by June, in the middle of June, everybody was sweating balls, right? But for me, where I came from, Phoenix, it didn't even start getting hot until like, middle of July, right? Okay? But right now, September 17th, we hit, right, winter's coming, right? And that's why I got to work on the pump house, right? I got, there's a couple of the machines that I need to tend to, you understand? Right, it's a good thing that I've already done a lot of the stacking and the restacking and the battening down stuff earlier during the summer when I was building the fence. You know what I'm saying? When I had to sort stuff out and kind of figure out where it was. You know what I'm saying? And so I set myself. I knew this was covered. This is related to the video that I talked about the seasons, where right? Your body tells you, your brain tells you, hey, look, I need to change directions for right now. I need to take care of this stuff over here, so I don't have to worry about it. Right? When you're out here, right, you know what I'm saying, and you're a stoner and you smoke a lot of weed, you know what I'm saying, right? There's a lot of things that you might not remember to tend to, right? So you got to be aware. You got to let your environment help you. Man, just an old hippie talking, right? Well, anyways, please like and subscribe. Share this video if you think it's important enough for other people to know about. This is me, Brian. Thank you.